Hi, welcome to Mommas and Manny's podcast. I'm your host, Trina. This is a short form podcast for mamas that are looking for a quick burst of me time. As usual, we will get started with a quote, a weekly quote or a mantra, depending on how you look at it. But before we do that, don't forget to share this episode with another mama and hit the like button. This week's quote, it came from my Tuesday tea that I put up on Facebook. It says, balance of head and heart yields strength of character. And I actually don't know what that means. I'm trying to think. Balance of head and heart yields strength of character. To me, I think that means you want to balance your thoughts with your emotions to really build a solid character. I guess maybe so you won't kind of get out of control or overreact to things. I think that's probably what that means. So this week's, wait a minute, let me back it up. Guess what time it is? It's mama time. This week's mama time, I almost jumped ahead, is going to be nail prep, and I'm going to do something a little bit different than our motivational quotes or things like that. Since this is a podcast geared towards mamas, I'm actually going to do and I'm going to include the link, is 37 hilarious quotes from kids to brighten your day. And this is from HuffPost. So these are just some quotes I'm sure people probably sent in that their kids actually said. And then what I'm going to do is just prep my nails to do a manicure. I already clipped my nails. I used my Color Street nail clipper that I got last year. It actually works really well. I don't know if they sell this. I think I got it when I was a stylist, but I'm using that. Of course, I'm using a cuticle pusher. I was just looking at, it's been a while since I've actually done my nails. I was looking at my nails and was like, oh, my cuticles look horrible. A nail file. I also have, once I prep my nails, I have nail strengthener, which works really well. And I also have cuticle oil, which works even better. I have some hangnails, and I was just thinking, wow, it's been a while since I had hangnails. When I used to use the cuticle oil, and of course, moisturizing your hands makes the difference. I didn't get hangnails as much. So what I like to do is trim my nails, push back my cuticles, file my nails if I need to, and then I'll put on the nail strengthener. Let that dry. It's really quick drying, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, not even that long. Put on some cuticle oil, and then your nails look great, just your natural nails. So let's get to the funny quotes by kids. The first one says, this comes from a 9-year-old, and it says, tax day is coming up. Are you excited or are you going to jail? And that quote is from a 9-year-old. I don't even know where they got the going to jail from. I guess nowadays, if you are old enough to really understand the news, you hear so much about famous celebrities and I guess regular people behind on taxes. So quite a few people actually go to jail, which is funny. Not that they go to jail, but it's funny that a 9-year-old would even equate tax season with going to jail. So this comes from an 11-year-old, and it says, this is like the background. It says the bride and groom stood up to say their wedding vows. And then the 11-year-old says, here comes the cheesy part. Next, this is a good one. I actually looked at this one before. And it says, talking about the child's upcoming birthday. And she asks her sibling, so what are some of the big girl things you can do when you're 5? And the first child says, oh, sleep in a big girl bed and hold knives. And then the other child, makes a funny face and is like, hold knives. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Let's see. Number 4. Let's see. Oh, the child says, I got a diary. Oh, well, she got a diary for her fifth birthday. And the little girl kept calling it her diarrhea book. And I can't bring myself to correct her. So they let the little girl call her diary her diarrhea book, which is hilarious. And that's just one of the things when you sit up and think about that. If you go back and you think, what is some of the stuff that you used to say incorrectly as a child? Like when I wanted to stay the night at my grandma's house, when I was growing up, I could never say spend the night, and no one ever corrected me on that. I would always say, "Can I spend it in? Can I spend it in tonight?" Like I put too many syllables. It's funny because I can't even say it now. I feel like one of my girls said it incorrectly, maybe like a few minutes. I mean, not a few minutes ago, a few months ago, and it just made me chuckle because I thought about when I was younger and I used to say, spend it in the night. I used to put too many letters in there. That's funny. So let me read this one. It says, on the way home from preschool, the first child says, what did you learn today? The second child says nonchalantly, oh, everything. That's funny. Then we have, let me see. It says, do you have a favorite thumb? Because this one right here holds up and admires thumb is pretty fantastic. Just look at it. It does all the things a thumb should do. Okay, that came from a 5-year-old. Let's see what we got next. Next is over the walkie-talkie. Okay, so 2 kids are on the walkie-talkie, and it says, Kylie, Eagle, Jet, what's your location? The next child says, Silas, I don't know what a location is. Now, that was actually funny because you hear kids just repeating things that they've heard before. That was actually funny. So Lily, it says, Mommy, every day I squeeze my legs to make sure the bones are still there. That's funny. And then the mom says, what would you do if they weren't? And she said, fall over. That's actually a good one. That's actually, so I found my fingernails. And what I usually like to do is just put on some nail polish remover. And I do that just to kind of even out, not really even out the surface, but it makes my nails, I'm going to say even out the surface because I can't think of anything else. It makes them kind of even before I put something on it. Here we go. Next it says, first child, Dad, I need help, please. Oh, I need you, please. Okay, and then the dad jumps up from the couch and runs upstairs. The child says, I need another smooch and hugs, please. Oh, that's cute. The dad said, love is an emergency. Oh, so the dad actually says, oh, I thought this was an emergency. And the child says, love is an emergency. That's actually a cute one. And that's appropriate since Valentine's Day is coming up in a few days. Let's see some of the other ones. This says the child came up to the mom crying. The child comes up to the mom crying and holding their nose. And then the child says, I didn't see a wall and it knocked me in the nose. Some of these, all you can do is just laugh at them. Because it's almost like you have to be there really to really fully experience the quote. That's funny. All right. Next it says, AJ making a checklist. Everything I need, check. Yeah, see, like that one, I don't understand that one. Then we have number 12. Okay, Andrew, use precipitation in a sentence. This is from a 7-year-old. And it says, so the child is thinking. He thinks for a while. Then his eyes light up. And the child says, what exactly is precipitation? Now that's a good one, especially if you have to help your kids with homework every day. Usually when I'm helping my daughter, I make sure, like, if we're doing spelling words, I tell her to use the word in a sentence. That way she can understand what the word is and spell it and everything like that. That's a good one. 13. The text of my youth. Emma, I'm going to text Harper on a piece of paper. Oh, that's funny. And it says, Mom, you mean write her a note? That's a note, Emma. Oh, I just read that wrong. So the child says, I'm going to text Harper on a piece of paper, which is funny because the child is actually thinking that's how you text somebody. And then the mom says, no, you mean write her a note? That's a note, Emma. That's funny that your child would think that writing on a piece of paper is a text. But I guess if your child heard someone say, like, did you read the text box or something like that? That's funny. Okay, here's another one. It says, Liam was looking for the thermometer. And then he says, Mama, that's hilarious. Okay. I did not read those. I will confess, before I started the episode, I thought they would be a little bit better, a little bit more funnier than that. Since I'm almost finished, I'll go ahead and finish out the episode. Those are hilarious. If you go back and you listen, maybe if you take a second listen to some of those funnies from kids, they'll sound a little bit more funnier than that I got. Maybe I wasn't reading them correctly. And that's why they didn't sound that funny. So if you have a funny quote or a funny saying that your toddler or your child says, or they may pronounce something differently, leave it below in the comment box. Hit the like button, hit the notifications so you'll know when we come out with a new episode. And remember that me time is essential and it is never selfish. Have a great week, Mama. Happy Valentine's Day.